wonderful. तो क्या? The weather is terrible. कि wonderful का नतीजा terrible होता है. It's a good day, चलो चलेगा.
Right.
So I appreciate the English. They don't get hyper excited. But also कोई मंग तरंग तो होना चाहिए लाइफ में. अरे क्या खाना बनाया है? But if we learn how to be positive, but forgive the negative. ज़्यादा नमक पड़ गया तो क्या हो गया? क्या ज़रूरत है? I'll quote an example, the effect of that, my most profound experience. As a Hindu, I don't eat beef, okay? So go to this old lady who knows me very well. 25 years I've been her doctor, and she's now housebound. So she looks forward to my going. I'm not a doctor, I'm a friend.
Right.
She's about 90-ish and I'm 61. But I knew her when she was my age, and now we've grown up together. So she said, Anand, sit down. Would you like a pie? Now I know she's made a beef pie. I said, no pet, enjoy. I'm not having pie. I'll eat it later. Give me half. She cuts it in half. I took it in my car. I stopped in the car park, put it in the bush for dogs and cats to eat. I haven't hurt her feelings.
Right.
But an honest person will say, don't you know I'm a Hindu, I don't eat meat, I don't eat beef. What's the point of hurting her?
I must tell you, since you're talking about beef and meat, very old good friend of mine from Patna, her husband is now in the planning commission. When I went to visit her in Delhi once when we were not in Delhi, she went to the kitchen and the servant was not there, and she made lovely meat biryani for me. And it was a Tuesday, I was fasting.
Achha.
Now, how could I say that it is Tuesday? I'm sorry. When she went to the kitchen, I didn't have the guts to tell her, because she never entered the kitchen. And for me, she's entering the kitchen and she's cooking. And I just ate it quietly. And I'm very happy I didn't hurt her.
My judgment is, you've done a more spiritual thing. Then someone says, Ish, aaj hum nahi khate hain. Why show off your spirituality? If you're showing off, it's not spirituality. It isn't. I mean, there's so many examples I have seen in India, even as a child. Somebody was beating a child, some poor child. I said, why are you beating him? ये प्रसाद चुरा लिया. ऐसे प्रसाद उसके लिए कि भगवान के लिए? क्या भगवान आके खाएगा? भगवान भूखा है आपके रबिश के लिए? तो क्या बोल रहे हैं? ऐसे क्यों इसको पीट रहे हैं? आपको पैसा चाहिए, हम दे देंगे. I was so upset because they can't see the higher purpose of prasad. अरे चोरी का खा ले, भूखा है.
I know of a teacher who used to walk into the class. The moment she walked in, she would punish a particular child. And when I went to talk about her to some higher ups, I started crying myself.
Yeah,
I couldn't talk to her.
You feel the pain of the child.
I couldn't tell her, don't do it. So I had to ask someone else to tell her, don't do it. So thank God everything is okay now, because I could see her pain, why she is doing it.
I think that's a very important point you raised. We are so cruel to children. Your handwriting is bad. We tease them. And not just here. In England, the special cruelty is, you've got a rotten voice. Don't sing. Just mime. One of the very famous MPs. He's a famous MP of the Labour Party. He's a very, very famous man. And
his teacher did it to him?
And I said about Gurukul, our institution. He said, I'll help you. I said, why would you? He said, because I was told off. I said, for what? For my voice. I said, you've got a lovely booming voice. She said, you have a voice of a bullfrog. And I said, who said that? He says, a nun. I mean, is she a nun or is she a child abuser?
Right.
But that man still carries it in his head. So, you know, we should
many
be very
times we don't
careful.
know how we are harming these delicate children, these super delicate children. They are so sweet. They just deserve nothing other than
But you know, when you
love.
say children are so sweet, you absorb their qualities. And all these people are doing that to children. They're damaging themselves.
I must tell you about this. There's a beautiful film in India called Tare Zameen Pe. And this boy who was really being beaten up at home and abused by the children in school and everything. And I kept telling the whole class, don't do it, you're harming him. He said, ma'am, have you seen this film? I said, no, I haven't. But I can't see it. My husband won't get me the CD and all. Can you help me? So he got the CD, and next day he asked me, ma'am, did you cry? I said, well, I cry every day. Ma'am, what do you mean? I said, children, I understand your pain. I've seen it, and I stuck to being a teacher just to be able to do that, because there are lots of other good jobs available. I'm not saying that I'm a very good teacher, very good person. I mean, that there is selfishness and ego in that also, that I'm doing good to the others, but it gives me immense satisfaction.
As a medical student, I donated blood 6 times for a little girl.
Yes,
right?
I remember.
And she died. I felt very unhappy, but I'm still proud to do it if I can. I don't give money to patients, but I put myself in their shoes and I challenge them because I love them. I've never told off a patient and they've answered back because they know I'm doing it for their welfare.
I must tell you that there's a gentleman whose interview was coming over the radio. So I said, sir, you must listen to your interview on the radio. He said, radio? Which radio? I don't have a radio. So I remember he left behind a radio, and I said, here's a radio from Dr.
In Delhi?
Yeah, in Delhi, so that you can listen to it. No, I don't need it. I said, no, I'm not giving it to you because you need it, but I'm sure it will give you
enhance.
little happiness, and that will give me
Yeah,
happiness.
yeah. हम अपने स्वार्थ के लिए कर रहे
Yeah,
हैं.
I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for you. So.
I'm not doing a favor.
But we need to help a lot of people, and instead of being self-centered, me, I all the time.
And the other thing
we
is
start,
society is too professionalized. आप देखिए इंग्लैंड में कोई मरा तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. बाप मरा तो फ्यूनरल पार्लर में पड़ा हुआ है, दो आंसू गिरा दिया. अरे handle the body, carry it on your shoulder.
That's why amongst us Hindus in Delhi, I know one of my students, now they are really grown up, and they came all the way from the US, and the relatives made them handle the body.
Yeah.
And they were shocked about it, and my daughter kept saying, but why did they do it? I said, no, that's also something legal. They must know that the body was intact and nothing went wrong.
I did my father, and I'm better for it.
Right.
And as a doctor, I'm telling you that not Christians or Hindus or Muslims,
No.
Western rich society has so cut it out of their lives, and they keep working. I mean, I've just finished by telling you the story. A man came to me and said, Doctor, I think I've got peptic ulcer. 35-year-old man. So I said, what's eating you? He said, I had a curry last night. I said, listen to me. What is eating you up? Oh, could it have something to do the fact that my father died 2 weeks ago? I said, how many fathers have you got left? I talk like this because he knows me from tiny age. He's known me 30 years. So 6 साल का था तब से मेरे को जानता है. So I can talk like an Indian. And he started crying. All he wanted was permission to connect his father's death with his stomach pain. He couldn't stomach the fact. These are all metaphors. Now, if you work as a doctor like that, your life is enriched and the patient's life is enriched. Otherwise, my partners, jare, khalo, meprazole, this zor, kuch na pata hai. They are practicing on the skin surface.